C.J. Holmes, he wrote an article. You heard about he pull off with Willard and Dibbs. You got Willard and Dibbs tweeting. We don't know what Bob Myers would do.
What are Willard and Dibbs tweeting?
Oh, I think Willard sent out a tweet saying, the Warriors have made no decision. It's a report about nothing, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm not going to attack Anthony Slater or Shams Charania on their report. The facts are Bob Myers has a decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me right now, I would feel like Bob Myers is moving on. Now, is he moving on to another team? I think Bob Myers, if anything, would like to take some time off. That's a decision I think he's weighing right now. But when it comes to the Golden State Warriors and Bob Myers, we know about his attachment to Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. I mean, they're boys. They're tight. There's no doubt about that. And I wonder if the personnel or if personal decisions like this or decisions like this, and it comes to the personal relationship, how hard is it to make a deal? How hard is it to say goodbye? I'm not quoting Boys to Men about this, but I'm leaning towards Draymond Green here. A lot of Warrior fans that I've seen over the weekend, you see the media, you see Draymond Green tweeting, I think a lot of people have Draymond Green fatigue, especially in Dub Nation. And he has a decision to make when it comes to the opt-in or opt-out. But when all these trades are coming on the table and all these fake trades and everybody's on a fake trade machine, is Bob Myers equipped to move on from a guy like Draymond Green? I wonder if Joe Lakem's thinking like maybe the best thing in the world is for Bob Myers to move on because I need to make a decision about Draymond Green. If I want to move on to the future and I want to open up minutes for Jonathan Kuminga and a Jordan Poole and a Moses Moody, well, Draymond Green is right there in the way. I get it. Steiny said this last week, and it was a great question. Steve Kerr has said, we're not a championship team without Draymond Green. Now, that may be true. But are you a championship team with Draymond Green? And if the answer is, no, you're not a championship team with Draymond Green or without him, then wouldn't you want to free somebody up? Wouldn't you want to start some of the movement into the future now if you're not a championship team with Draymond Green?
People can disagree with me. I don't think that they are getting past Denver. Even let's say they do somehow get past the Lakers, which whatever. You think that they should have, could have, would have gone past the Lakers? Fine. They didn't. I don't think they're getting past the Denver Nuggets. I think that their need, like rolling it back, quote unquote, is not good enough. And I don't think, barring a unrealistic trade scenario, just trading Jordan Poole, which I think there is a segment of people that are like, keep the three, Jordan Poole is the issue, move him away. I don't think you're getting something back of significance that makes you better than Denver. I just don't. Right. I just don't.
That's what the operation is about right now, right? It's beating Denver. Because it feels like Denver's now, it's Operation Win a Championship, but that team that's going to be in a way for you to win championships, it feels like it will be the Denver Nuggets for the foreseeable future.
I look at how Denver is constructed, and then I look at how the Warriors are constructed, and it's two completely polar opposites. I look at Denver, and they have, yes, two guys making a lot of money, but then there's a lot of balance if you look at the rest of their financial situation. Now, some guys like Bruce Brown, were sitting there and anyone could have had them. KCP, I believe, is a free agent this upcoming offseason. So we'll see if they'll be able to even retain him. But their windows right now of being able to squeeze all these salaries into where they're at. The Warriors have two guys making 71% of their cap, and that is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. All right? You add in either Draymond or Wiggins, you're looking at the cap right there. Boom. Like, that's the entire cap. So the Warriors are at a different financial spot. Would the Warriors be better served, instead of having all of these top-end salaries, splitting one or two of those maximum salaries into multiple players that can help them? I think they would.
Wow.
I think they would.
Look at the contracts for the Denver Nuggets, though.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Well, you look at Jokic. He's got the 5-year, $272 million deal. He's going to be making 46. He's going to be making 50, 54, 58, 60 million by 27, 28. Jamal Murray has 2 more years left on his deal. He's making 33 and 36. And he's a free agent in 2025, 2026.
A comparable max to what Wiggins is not losing, but going down in after this year.
Think about that. He's going to make 33.8 next year. Jordan Poole is going to make 27, or was it 32 that first year?
I think it's 28 the first year, and then it jumps up to 32.
That's a hell of a deal for Jamal Murray.
It is.
Michael Porter
When he
Jr.
plays like he has been playing.
He's been closing.
Absolutely.
I mean, the 30-point first half Saturday night was just special.
He was spectacular.
He was phenomenal.
And I know he went 0 for 9 or whatever in the second half. It didn't matter. Jokic picked up the slack.
He scored like 40 points combined from the fourth quarter of game
It's
number
incredible.
2 to the first quarter of game number 3. I think it was the most points combined in back-to-back quarters in 25 years
And
of playoffs.
he played all 24 minutes in game 2 of the second half.
That was special basketball.
It really was.
Special. Michael Porter Jr., 5 years, $180 million. He's got on his deal. 33, 35, 38.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but the guy's starting to fit.
No, he is.
He's starting to figure it
well,
out.
and to me, he's playing better defense.
No doubt. Aaron Gordon feels like a bargain. $21 million next year, $22 million a year after. Then you got Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
What's he at? 14?
You know what? He got a 2-year, $30 million deal.
So he's at like 15. Okay.
So he's at 14.7 next year. Then he's got a player option for 2024 and 25.
I think he could opt out and make a lot of money.
Dude, and then Bruce Brown has the opt-out where he's going to make 6.8 next year. He's going to make a lot of money next year. So you got Christian Brown, who's getting rotational minutes. Peyton Watson got some playing time earlier this season. John Char can hit the 3. So Denver's
What
in a
about
great
your
good
boy
spot.
DeAndre Jordan?
Yeah, he'll be God. I mean, it is what it is. He's a vet. Jeff Green is a vet as well. He may re-sign with them. But here's the point. The Warriors have to match up with the Denver Nuggets. Oklahoma City with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren, they're coming.
Yes.
Minnesota, they're going to be an interesting team to see what happens. New Orleans Pelicans, going to be very interesting to see what happens. So it's Operation Win a Title, but Operation I got to figure out a way to beat the Denver Nuggets with this new look roster.
Yes.
How do the Warriors do that?
One, and they have to match up with them.
Right.
And right now, I don't think they match up very well.
Can Draymond match up with Jokic? Here's my biggest problem.
Their
with
length is such a problem.
Here's my deal. The Sacramento Kings, I guess I can mention them, but nobody's afraid of Sabonis. Nobody, or Sabonis, whatever you want to say. Kings fans, by the way. I saw KC, my boy Kenny Caraway, sent out a tweet yesterday trying to sneak it through. What if Fox didn't break his finger against the Golden State Warriors? I said, Kings fans, man, y'all got to let it go. Just enjoy the season, man. Let it go.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I've thought long and hard after seeing how the Warriors got bounced from the Lakers. What if Steph doesn't go nuclear? No one else was really playing that
they
well.
lose that game.
Well, that's what
They
I'm
lose
saying.
that game by 10.
I know they won going away, but Steph
dropped 50.
Steph was unreal. So, I think he goes both ways. So, yes, for Kings fans, I hear that argument. Look, dude, it's 12 years later, and I'm still talking about, well, what if Ginobili doesn't hit that shot in Kent Bazemore's face in Game 1?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm looking here at the text line. Warriors is a better match with Denver than the Lakers. They would have had it easier against the Denver Nuggets with all their ball movement. But defensively, Jokic would have got everything he wanted. Jamal Murray may have gotten anything he wanted. And that would have been on Andrew Wiggins to try to slow him down. And then their role players.
I think
their role players are playing really well.
I mean, KCP is a very good two-way player. He's not one of the cream of the crop of the league, but you could do a lot worse than him. To me, he's starting caliber, but if you have him as like your sixth man and him and Brown are two guys that you're rotating, I mean, that's pretty potent.
It's pretty good. And
either one of them could go off in any game.
And by the way, this segment is sponsored by Golden State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. I think Laura Britt's going to join us at 8:30 to talk some Giants. The queen of the show, Laura Britt, 8:30.
So you asked, is Bob Myers a little too close to the big three?
Right.
I want to do. Yes, I think he is. But let's backtrack a little. I get it.
No
if
doubt.
I was in his position and I was at the top of the food chain and some of these guys were responsible, as well as your own doing, together, we worked together to complete what they completed over that long of a run. You've built earned trust and equity and a level of, I don't know, not autonomy, but a level of partnership. And I also think that you've earned a level of denial on some level. I'm not going to acknowledge some of your flaws because you mean so much to my own professional and personal journey. If Bob Myers took over, I'm just going to use a team, the LA Clippers 10 years ago, 11 years ago, he's probably not viewed the way that he is right now. Now, maybe he does a better job down there. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But whoever was going to be the head while that team was doing what they're doing, and he gets credit for all those moves. I'm not taking credit away from him. But I can understand where those guys mean more to you.
Right.
Right? The way you coach or the way that you view your own children is very different than how you view others, right? Sometimes you're harder on them, but at the same time, you're going to give them more chances, right? Because they're your kids. And so I look at Bob Myers. Yeah, I'm sure that he's a little too emotionally attached to these guys, but I kind of get it. And I don't fault him for it. But at the same time,
will that hinder you from making a move?
And this is where I kind of get, and I see both sides of the coin. If I'm Lakeup, I'm not speaking as Lakeup. I'm speaking as Joe Shasky pretending to be someone in Lakeup's position. I might want a little outside influence to look at how I'm viewing this situation.
Right. And if you do elevate Mike Dunleavy Jr., as a lot of people are suggesting, because he's been an assistant GM now for a few years, is he attached to Draymond Green the way Bob Myers is?
It's a question I don't have an answer to.
Steve Kerr, because that first domino, what if Bob Myers does decide to walk away? Now you can opt in and every time you bring everybody back, you bring Kerr back, and you try to run it back, and you move on and you try to get some veteran help. But if he does move on, now that's the first domino. How does that impact Draymond Green? He did say that sucked.
Yeah.
And I would not be happy about that. Does that force him to opt out? What if Steve Kerr says, you know what, I have a come to Jesus moment here. I don't want to move forward without Bob Myers because I had that synergy with Bob Myers. What if Bob Myers and Steve Kerr are in an impasse because of the way Steve Kerr did not utilize the youngsters? Because when Steve Kerr said this, I don't think we've talked about it, but what Steve Kerr has basically said, we maxed out with this roster. If you're Joe Lacob and Bob Myers, you're thinking, wait a minute, maxed out with the roster? You didn't play some of the young guys. You didn't play all your tools. Are we sure we maxed out this credit card? Because I feel like there's some money left on the balance here.
Well, then I would also pivot to Steve Kerr. Like, you've been a GM. You tell me what you need, because I can't just trade the youngsters to get back important pieces.
Right.
I'm going to have to move off of someone. You can't have it both ways. You can't tell me that we maxed out this roster and then stay loyal to some of the big pieces making big money, because you're limited in the amount of moves that you can make. And I think that this is where we've kind of been with the Warriors the last couple of years. Like, we all kind of knew, if you're being honest with yourself, one of two things happens. You either stay loyal to the core to a fault, and at some point it crashes and burns.
Yep.
Or you stay loyal to winning, and you have to sacrifice the relationship or losing one of the players that you love.
Yep, no doubt.